friends, it's Miss Sue from Finkelstein Memorial Library and welcome to Throwback Week. And today we're going to make tie-dye socks. And they'll look like this when they're done. I actually used a black dye, but they came out looking kind of blue after I washed them. So let's travel back in time to the year 600 to China, Japan, and India, where tie-dyeing all began. In China and Japan, people used flowers and berries and roots and leaves to create dyes to color their clothing. Now let's travel back to the 1920s and 1930s when people found out that tie-dyeing was an inexpensive way to decorate their clothing. Okay, here we go again, moving back to the 1960s, which was called the hippie era, where people wore tie-dye to express their creativity and free spirit. Today, tie-dyeing has become very popular again because of COVID. Can you guess why? Well, the answer is because of COVID, we have been social distancing and staying at home, and people have rediscovered lots of crafts. What crafts have you rediscovered? What craft projects have you done in the past year? I hope you've been participating in our craft and virtual programming. So you could tell, boys and girls, that I like tie-dye. I didn't make this, but I enjoy wearing tie-dye. So let's see what's in your bag. So you should have 2 pairs of socks, some rubber bands. I gave you about 12. You should have a baggie to put your socks in after you dye them. I gave you like 2 pairs of plastic gloves. It's important to wear your gloves when you're dyeing the socks, otherwise the dye will stick to your hands. And I'm using brown, so whatever color you use, it'll be hard to wash off. Also, you're going to have a bottle to mix your dye. I've already mixed my dye. You'll see in your bag a little packet with the color that matches the tip of your bottle. Mine is brown. From home, you'll need some warm water. I've put on the table a tall garbage bag. You can use like a plastic tablecloth or even some wax paper. And you'll need a tin. And not sure if I showed you this, some warm water to mix your dye. And you also going to, before you start tie-dyeing, you're going to soak the socks in water. Doesn't matter, cold water, warm water, or you can just do it in the sink. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to wring out my socks. And now I'm going to put the rubber bands on my socks. So what I'm going to do is kind of gather it like this on the end and tie it. You can have a grown-up help you. You can put them like 2 inches apart or 1 inch apart. Gather the rubber band together. gather the fabric. It's definitely challenging to get the rubber bands on. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the end I'm going to bunch up and just fold this over. Okay. Now we'll need our tin. Make sure you have some paper towel handy or napkins. So I've already mixed my dye, but you'll also need a scissor. So your little packet of dye, you just want to snip off the top and fill your bottle with the water that you've got on hand. Fill it just to the top right here. And you're going to put your dye in. You could use a funnel or have a grown-up do it for you and shake it. Okay, so now I'm going to start to dye my socks. Now you can leave some white if you like. So I'm going to squeeze it, do both sides. Turn it around, do the other side. There's plenty of dye, boys and girls, so you don't have to worry that you won't have enough dye. In fact, you'll have dye left. Ooh, and I am so silly. I forgot to put my gloves on after I told you to wear your gloves. Okay. Turn it around. So I'm leaving a little white, so that should be interesting. And that you're going to put your socks, your finished socks, in the plastic bag we've given you. Now I'm going to do the next one. I'll add some turn it over. And put both socks in the plastic bag. Seal it. Leave it in this bag overnight for 24 hours. You can take off your gloves now. So you can see I have a lot of dye left, so you can put this away in a safe place. You don't want it to spill. And you could use it within the next 2 days if you want to do more tie-dyeing. So we're going to leave this in the bag overnight. Let's see, it's like 11:30, so I'm not going to take this out till tomorrow at 11:30. And in your bag, I also have directions. So what you're going to do when you take your socks out, you're going to rinse your socks in the sink with cold water until all the dye comes out and the water runs clear. So that might be a couple of times you have to do that, boys and girls. Then you're going to wash your socks separately in the washing machine with a little detergent. Dry them in the dryer on hot, or you can just hung mine up actually to dry. After that, after you wear your socks and you want to wash them, make sure you either wash them by themselves, not with any white things, or if your mom and dad or the people you live with, wash it only with other colored things. This way they won't stain any of your other items. So, friends, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for joining me for Throwback Week. And I hope to see you next time. And I hope you enjoy tie-dyeing and taking a trip back in time. Take care, boys and girls. See you soon. Bye.